All right, so we'll talk about partnership structures for large multifamily deals. So, in this scenario, if you're getting started, you have the knowledge, the education, you're going to do the legwork, and you have now found someone who's going to put up money in your deal because they believe in you. Great. But now, how do you want to structure that partnership? Or if you're just trying to feel people out, right? What will you want to offer a partnership? So let's go ahead and talk about that for a little bit now. So the first thing that you should know is that when you are raising money with other people, right? This is what you call a security, and it is regulated by the Security and Exchange Commission. So you have to follow those guidelines. Get a lawyer. All right. You want to make sure that you have a lawyer who's looking over your operating agreement and what you're going to do so that you don't run into any legal problems, right? But now we got the whole legal mumbo jumbo out the way. Let's go ahead and get into how it's actually going to work. So it starts with your money partners feeling comfortable in the return that they'll give you. So this is real estate, this is negotiations, and everything is negotiable, right? But for us, I know with our capital partners, usually if we can get them a cash on cash of somewhere between 7 to 8%, they're going to be okay with that. If I can double their money in 5 years, let's call it, they're going to be okay with that. So you want to set down sort of the ground rules of anybody or any sort of deal that you want to do to know, like, all right, anybody who invests with me is going to be getting this, right? This is being what your returns are going to be from your investment. So after you know that, when you're talking with your money partners, you want to make sure that they're okay with what that is. And once you know that, now you start to work with your deal to see how can I structure this so that they're okay financially and so that you are well compensated as an operator. Because what you don't want to have happen is that you're not adequately compensated for all the work that you do, right? So SEC law says that everybody who's in a partnership has to be involved. That is if they're in a general partnership, right? So you can't have limited partners. We do that on deals. And limited partners are people who don't really have any say so. They don't necessarily vote on things. They're not the people doing the work day to day, week to week in order to make the project happen. They sort of make an investment and then go away. And you or whomever is running the project, they're the ones who are going to make all the decisions and carry the project out, right? So that's a limited partner. And then you also have general partners who are the team that's making everything happen and doing the work. And so the SEC says that if you are in the general partnership, then you have to be actively involved in that project, meaning that you're doing something, right? So make sure that the precedence of that is set, but then also look at what things are going to need to be done and figure out what you're going to do and the ongoing work. Because the reality of it is that the people who cut checks honestly don't do that much. That's one of the easiest things to do. It's just to write the check and buy the deal. Where the deal performs is when you're doing the weekly calls with the property management company, when you're making the decisions about what to fix, what to repair, what not to fix. Should you get a new property management company? Should you fire some personnel, hire somebody? Like making that deal work, that's the day-to-day operations and where the deal really becomes profitable or not. So just understand that. So to wrap this thing up, right, you want to make sure that your capital partners are getting enough money to feel satisfied with, that their money is working for them by investing in you and in the asset, right? That's ground rule number one. After that, everything's negotiable, but make sure that you negotiate in a way that you are compensated for all the work that you're going to do, and that the partners are also going to be compensated for the work that they're going to do, because everybody has an ongoing role, right? But if that person's ongoing role is, say, a once a month thing and your role is an everyday thing, then you want to make sure that you're compensated fairly for that. So it's really complex and it's hard to go into enough detail without looking with every single deal, but I just want you to wrap your head around the fact that partnership deals do need to be structured, and they need to have these structures put into place before you do the deal, so that everyone is okay after you have a deal under contract, because you don't want that bickering to go on right at the beginning of a project, right? So hopefully you found that helpful a little bit. If you're unclear about anything that I was talking about, or you have additional questions about partnership structure, go ahead and leave a comment below and I'll be there to answer your questions. So hopefully you found this helpful. Have a great one, and I'll see you in the next video. Later.